Why is Broadcom getting crushed right before we can get another massive AI earnings report? And that's actually good because AVGO has sold off hard over the last couple of weeks, and we are suddenly trading at prices we haven't seen for a month. And here's the thing what makes it actually very, very interesting. Broadcom's AI business isn't expected to slow down. It's actually expected to accelerate massively. So we have right now the massive opportunity to make 50, 100, or probably even $150 per share if we do it correctly. And yeah, you heard it right, by the way. So today we're gonna look why Broadcom is selling off, the Google and Marvell story that's putting pressure on Broadcom, and the numbers I'm watching before we going into the earnings on September the 2nd. And by the way, yeah, I fell in love with the stock or even more with the chart, but I'm not buying it until the chart gives me the signal, guys. Why Broadcom is under so much pressure? Well, one big concern came recently from Google expanding its custom AI chip relationship with Marvell. And Broadcom has been a major partner from Google's TPI infrastructure. So obviously the market immediately starts asking questions like, is Broadcom going to lose part of Google's AI business? Well, it might be a legitimate concern, but let's be honest, guys. Because Google is diversifying its suppliers doesn't automatically mean that Broadcom's AI business is falling apart. Because the overall AI market infrastructure is getting so freaking big that Broadcom doesn't need control 100% of every customer to continue keep growing massively. And that's where the upcoming earnings becoming really, really interesting, guys. I know what you're thinking, I'm talking too much, but you need the numbers. So only one more point, and then we go into the charts, and you're gonna see the possible entry points. Chill, one more point. The numbers I'm watching. Broadcom reports its fiscal third quarter earnings on September the 2nd after market close. And the management guided for approximately $29.4 billion in total revenue. But here's the actual number I care about, guys. The AI semiconductor revenue. Last quarter, Broadcom generated approximately $10.8 billion from AI semiconductors. And for this quarter, they are guiding for approximately $16 billion. Think about that for a second. So we are potentially going from $10.8 billion to $16 billion in just one quarter. And that would represent more than 200% year-over-year growth. So this doesn't look like AI business slowing down for me, at least not yet. So, and that's why I'm going to listen very, very careful what Hook 10 tells us about the next quarters. If AI demand remains strong, Google remains on track, and management gives us a strong forward guidance, this recent sell-off could start looking very differently very, very quick, guys. Yeah, chill, guys. I know what you're thinking, guys. You think like, oh, I have enough numbers. Please stop talking. I want to see the entry points. And that's what we are doing right now in the charts. Let's go, guys. Guys, right now we are really quick in the weekly chart of Broadcom AVGO to have a little overview about the big picture. So I just put on the bottom right corner right now the analyst ratings just to have a little bit more context. And like you can see, 51 analyst ratings, 47 are buys. That means buy or outperform, and 4 hold, and the rest there's nothing, just only 4 hold and 47 buy or outperform. So like you can see, the average target price 514 or medium 525 are all above the all-time highs, and the long-term target price from 675 is also way above the all-time highs. So Is it realistic 675? Yes, it is, but my first take on this one is for the next 3 to 6 months. So we talk about this later. So we have over here a pretty nice uptrend, a stable uptrend, really nice in the weekly chart. So the big picture would be on favor on the analyst ratings. Um, but just by the way, a little bit riskier. We have a bearish M coming up uh, in the weekly chart. If we drop below this daily chart level of 355, I'm gonna dive deeper into this in the daily chart. That's the only risk, dripping back to the very important support level of 317 and 295. We'll be going deeper into those levels in the daily chart too. Just a quick overview. Yeah, you see the yellow arrow. This is my take on the long term, but first target, all-time highs, 495. This is from now on round about 140 bucks. Let's go into the daily chart, guys. Well, guys, right now we are in the daily chart of AVGO Broadcom, and here's where I take my buying decision. Just a quick recap of all the support level that we have had. Over here, the 317 is a very important level, all-time highs from mid-August 2025, and a breakout over here on September 25. Then we had a little bit freak show over here, and we scratched this level here many times and made a new support level down here at $295, like you can see, February beginning of February 2026, and two touchdowns over here in March 2026. And then we got a major up move, a really freak show up move, too parabolic uh, for me personally, but anyway, pretty impressive up move. And yeah, and then we formed a very important support level down here in the daily chart at $355. Since we got all this down move here in the freak show, we had touchdowns over here and the beginning 2nd of July 26, then again on 17th of July 26, then again on August 19th 26, and the latest 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Today is pretty nice. We got a doji candle here. We come to this in a second. And that's a very important sign, first turnaround sign. So, yeah, just like I told you, to be precise, my target level for the next 3 to 6 months is the all-time high at $495. Do I see lifting the all-time highs and going above the all-time highs? Yes, for sure. But the first target zone is 495. I gonna keep you guys updated. Just post in the chat, in the comments down below, update, and I'm gonna update you, make an update video about this one if you're coming to the all-time highs. And by the way, if you're already commenting, what do you think is gonna be the overall target in your opinion in AVGO Broadcom? So, okay, right now back to the daily chart. We have a cluster of strong support over here. First of all, like I told you, the $355. Then we have the 200-day moving average. We scratched the 200-day moving average many times over here, and we are still scratching it. This is a pretty strong support level, the 200-day moving average. Then we have the volume point of control over here on $345 and the important level here at 355. So we have a really good cluster zone of very strong support over here. Just in case we are getting selling power under this level, the 355, we could drop down back to the 317 or $295, just in case, if we get selling power. But that's not very probable because we didn't get any selling power. Today, on Wednesday, we scratched this level and dipped below this level, and now selling power was coming in. Nobody had the balls to sell the stock even more before the upcoming earnings.
which are expected being very, very good. Nobody had the balls. No selling power is coming in. Highly probable. And this doji candle here, let me zoom in a little bit more, is a first turnaround sign. And like I was drawing before, this is my turnaround zone. 375 and 355. Over here is my turnaround zone for you guys. Would wait for a turnaround or a push above this 375. That's a good turnaround sign if you push above this level. I'm personally going to look a time frame deeper into the 1 hour chart to get in a little bit earlier. But anyways, you have a pretty impressive move from here. Even from here, 300, let's say you move in 377, 378, you have already $120 until the all-time highs per share. That's pretty impressive. It doesn't look so much, but $120 per share is freaking nice, guys. So I'm looking in the hourly chart, maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow to get earlier into you, but I recommend you guys wait until we lift the 375, and from then on, boom. That's my take on AVGO. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is the long-term target for you guys? So right now, back to the video.
Quick update, guys. I just bought Broadcom today on Thursday at 368.39 just to keep you guys updated. This is for the $1 million challenge, just to be as transparent as possible. And it's not a financial advice, but if you want to buy Broadcom, you should wait until we lift at $375 just in case. But I want to be as transparent as possible. Guys, let's keep the video rolling. Welcome back. Right now, we are exactly at the end of the video. There's only one more thing or two things to do. Subscribe and like, and leave me a comment. What do you think? Do you expect where Broadcom is heading to? So thanks for watching. Peace out. Sasha.